This is the Stereosis.
The issue of our modern church is rejecting our clans, like what we call in Igbo land the Umunna. So when they ask you not to belong to your Umunna, that sometimes they claim that belonging to your Umunna will lead to backslide, and some people actually say the church is their Umunna. So, and you see, some other churches acknowledge, some write you later and write letter to the Umunna and say they are no more part of you. When they die, you should not bury them and things, stuff like that. And you see that sometimes these things, they don't sit well with someone like me. I don't feel like, these are your people. Your Umunna is, you're part of, originally you're part of these people. So how do you see that? I know you're a Christian, practicing Christian. So how do you support churches from actually sticking with the Umunna? A lot of churches stick with Umunna, but also the modern churches, a lot of them also, they really reject, not actually rejection, but they don't belong to that Umunna. The church is their Umunna. What do you think about such?
Okay, thank you very much. I think actually this issue is very, very important, especially in the Igbo setting.
Certainly.
You know, the issue of Umunna and the church, you know, is something that is very important for us to dissect. You know, looking at the what it is being that what is you know currently unfolding as regards to a lot of misfortunes that have been recorded as regards to low membership in the Umunna assembly. I think by way of introduction, I think the Umunna actually is has a lot of something to do with has a lot of things to do with having a kind of close affinity,
yes,
with your people.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? It's a kind of, according to Chinua Achebe, he said that there is always peace. There is always unity when you are close to your people, when you try to fraternize with your people, when you try to stay with them, when you try to bond with them. That is why to an extent in Igbo culture there's this understanding that the Umunna is power, because it has a lot of traditional, cultural and ritualistic inclinations as regards to this, and people need to understand the fact that the Umunna concept is very pivotal in the arrangement of Igbo culture, because it is a micro government, with a lot of strong influence on our people. So the Umunna is something that is very important. Just that some churches, due to what I may call unguided religious fanaticism, must have gone astray, trying to advise their members not to fellowship or congregate with their Umunna. And this Umunna is a concept gotten from a group of compounds who share close ancestor, who answers the name of the clan or the kindred. So in the time being, the Umunna is something that no Igbo person can actually align himself from, because it has a lot of consequences. Because when something bad happens, it is the Umunna that serves as your backup.
Yeah.
Yes, they serve as your backup. So the church, I think the Orthodox churches have continued to promulgate laws, promulgate doctrine, promulgate principles that have ensured that most of their members, or some of their members, or even all their members, should not jettison their Umunna assemblage.
Yes.
Just like the Orthodox churches, they are like the Catholic Church and all that, as Anglican Church. So they have asked the people that sometimes they tell you, please, if you don't belong to your Umunna, please make sure you go and belong there, attend their meetings. So these things are very important, because they understand the affinity and they understand the spiritual force that goes with it, because it is ritualistic in a way.
Even in the Bible, you see they're counting the genealogy of Christ and all those ones, brothers.
Exactly.
You see them from the down.
Exactly.
You see people calling their great grandfather, say they want to pray and all this kind of thing, telling you that they honor those roots they
Yes,
come from.
exactly.
Recently, I was watching the Israeli Prime Minister with this Palestinian and the Israeli war, and you see this guy tearing into their history to sometimes before Christ, accurately talking about how they were chased away by the Arab, they were there, and even where Sarah was buried at the Gaza Strip, the same place Sarah and Abraham was buried was the same place that Ishmael was also buried. You know, like problem in Jerusalem, all those things. So these people have a clear knowledge about all these things, like they understand where they come from all the way down.
Yes.
So, but in this our own case is quite different. Somebody just, I think it's like you said, it's not guided, it's an unguided teaching.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
say, just say this thing. But sometimes you can also take away what their fear, because most times the Umunna, their laws and all those ones they are not all Christians, and they feel like most of their members can backslide. Sometimes they ask you not to drink alcohol. Those guys are drinking alcohol, but like you said, not all those churches they teach them that you can confide them even when you go close to them, and it's been very successful. Like some of the Umunna now, you're not forced to drink alcohol. If you don't want to drink alcohol, they buy you soft drinks, and most of those things that are against your own faith, they don't do it. It's not compulsory you do it, but you don't belong to Umunna. It's not like meeting you go and
Yes.
belong to. It's something that this is your family. You're part of these people, whether you
Yes.
like it or not.
Yes.
So Umunna, like my own Umunna, once you're like, is it 25 years old, your name enters your book, whether married or married.
Yes.
So they know the number of married people, they know the number of married young guys, with the number of married women in that particular Umunna. It's not something they don't really beg you, unless you write to them. Like our parents in the village and all those ones, they just come, I have 2 sons, I have 3, you know, the names where your daughter gets married, the name enters their book for married people, like married women. They keep all these records. They have meeting at the end of the year. You know, they have, I think in my own, they're even building a hall that will join all of them together and all those things. But you see some people arguing heavily, I don't belong to this Umunna, my church is my Umunna. I think one man in my village wrote a letter to his church, to his Umunna, asking them not to even worry when he dies. It was a very strict letter. Wrote a letter to them, no more part of them, anything they do. And you see, these things are not, sometimes they are not proper. It's just, like you said, all this misguided teaching, and somebody said, well, what's there in you identifying with your people?
You see, the thing there is just that you know there are many factors that has actually influenced the problem we're having as regards to the Umunnaship or the Umunna assemblage in the Igbo culture. You know, apart from the fact that the church, you know, most churches have influence on their members, asking them not to, you know, go close to their, to their Umunnas, or these things. There are, apart from that, there are a lot of also other factors that has also served as a hinge. You know, talk about globalization, talk about migration. Are you getting me? So some of these things has influence, and also talk about the importation of foreign cultures and religion. In this sense, I also have serious background check on the practice of Umunnaship in Igbo land. I think it is important that, you know, we look at it, you know, we dissect these things, you know, from, you know, broader perspective, in the sense that we look at it from different angles. The church has a role to play in bringing the people closer to their people, you know, because there is no way you can dissociate yourself from your roots and expect to have a fee there. You know, it's not possible. It's not proper to an extent. Just that what happened is just that there is corruption, there is serious crisis of trust. There is a crisis of trust, you know, among the Umunna, which is applicable to anywhere in the world. There are bad people, there are good people, and I think that one of the reasons why the church is capitalizing on the negative aspect of the assemblage to advise their member. They are capitalizing on the fact that there are some few people who do bad things, who try to influence their fellow Umunna negatively. They try to corrupt people negatively. They try to go extra mile to limit maybe what. But this thing should not count, because it is 1 out of a million. So trying to put a badge, on the Umunna, some call it village people, and which has created serious crisis of non-participation. Like you must have known that they target village people. If anybody has an issue now, the first thing they will say is the village people.
Yes.
But this is wrong, and it has entered into the mindset of our young ones. This thing needs to be properly dissected. The village people is a myth. It is not real, and the village people is always associated with negative vibes. They tell you that it is your village people, And when you talk about village people, it's your Umunna, because the Umunna, looking at the genealogy, it is the Umunna that give birth to Umunna. Yes, from the Umunna, the family, or that is the family, the nuclear family that give birth to the extended family, which is where the Umunna actually comes in. So it is the problem of non-understanding of the culture, not understanding the lineage, and this is one of the problems that people are constantly disconnected from their roots. People are no longer conscious of that oneness.
Yeah.
That's understanding that close affinity, having that close brotherliness. Because if actually the Bible is also explicit about it, there is joy in fellowship.
Yes.
I know what I'm saying. Fellowshipping with your brethren. Your brethren here, who is your brethren? Your brethren is not only your brother or your sister, but anybody that is close to you.
In terms of our humanity sense, it runs deeper than even what the white people are bringing to us. Because in our lexicon, there's nothing like uncle, step brother, step sister. We only have one name.
Yes.
This uncle, uncle, one name, palm or one name, we know our brother, we know our sister.
Yes.
So you see that this issue of our brotherhood and all those things, they run deep. And I studied one, I think, was in Long Walk to Freedom, or one of Ernest Mandela's books, that he said that one of the things that Africa must guide jealously is this our communal sense of living. He said normally Africans don't get depressed. Say the individualistic style of the Western world is something that they jealous the way we live with our brothers in Africa. Say he has traveled wide. He said there's some part of African culture that we need to remodel. But in terms of this, our communal living, Africans that you have your brother come, like most of the guys that travel abroad, you see a guy will stay for like 3-4 months before he gets his own accommodation, all those kind of things. And he said this is something we must guide jealously. That even the West, they are jealous of those are communal style of living. But now people out of, I don't think it's ignorance or something like that, you just climb the altar, spewing rubbish. Basically spewing rubbish, attacking the good things. The same thing with marriage. Somebody runs to church now to go and do white wedding even before doing the other one. White wedding is not even stated clearly in the Bible. The thing closest to what was stated in the Bible is our traditional marriage. That's where the dowry is paid. But somebody will tell you if you don't do white wedding, these are the things that things are like what you said now. The Bible is very clear about brotherhood.
Yes.
You understand? Christ did his first miracle when he went. He was not in the church.
Yes.
When he turned water into wine, wasn't in the church. He went for I think a relative's it was a wedding ceremony.
Yes, a wedding.
That's where it happened.
And that should be a traditional wedding.
Yes, it should be a traditional wedding.
Yes.
And that is where the first miracle in ministry actually started. So I don't know why people just feel anything like you said. It's village people. What they say is village people. It means a lot.
Yes,
Some people don't go to village anymore because it's village people.
Village people, yes.
Some people stay even in the city for years, 10 years without going to their village. So it's village people.
Yes.
And these things disconnect us. There's even if you see the way we structured our constitution in Nigeria, we want to vote. We want to go back to the ward to vote. We want to contest for election. First of all, you go to your ward to register. There's that sense of this our root stuff in even our constitution, but our people are tearing everything down. Some guys stay and tell you, go home for what, one? Okay, that kind of thing. Go home for what? I'll be killed in the village and all those things. And because of all these things, the Umunna thing is attacked seriously. I don't think it's something anybody should be ashamed of. And even these days, Christians are taking over. Most elders in the village now, they go to church. Normally days you say these people are not Christian. Some places Christians now in Umunna are more. I think in Suka, the present bishop, I think his father was once the eldest person.
Yes.
As a Christian. You understand? So you can't tell me that you come and tell Power Bishop nonsense, or you come to Power Bishop and you controlling Power Bishop. So these are the things you must understand in attacking our own tradition. And I must say this before you continue. Like, it's not everything that tradition I agree with. There are things you must do away with. There are others who need to rework. You understand? But there are good ones we must keep. It's not everything that is African or everything that is from us that is bad. It's terrible. If it's a white man's culture now, it's good. It's good with it. You understand? So, I don't know if you have that you want to add to it.
Okay. Actually, you have said a lot, and actually, it's just that what we are really saying here is that the Igbo culture has explicitly provided for a system of Umunna. These things were organic, purely
Yes,
organic. The
yeah.
Umunna arrangement is organic.
Yes.
And even from the name alone, Umunna, Umunne, Wanne, these things are natural. These things are spiritual. Any effort to disengage people, to create a sort of disunity among the people is diabolic. Anybody that tries to separate a brother and a sister,
It's unchristian.
it's unchristian.
Yeah.
So you asking people not to associate with them. Rather, what you do is, no, there is no family, not only in Igbo land, that doesn't have problems.
Yes.
There are every family must have one challenge or the other. There must be disagreement, there must be challenges. But the ability to, as a church, the pulpit is meant to instigate peace, not crisis, not disunity. So we preach peace among our brethren, among our Umunna. People should understand the fact that it is important for them to go to village and participate in the Umunna arrangements, because in most cases, and sometimes it is important that we understand the fact that there is no way we can run away from our roots. It is not possible. As an Igbo man, as an Igbo woman, there is a place you come from. And these are one of the reasons why people are having challenges in life. Sometimes you don't disconnect totally from your roots. There is a place you come from. And you have to strive to make it better. If your community is not working and you have what it takes to make your community to work, it is your responsibility.
Yes.
It is not the responsibility of the government to make your community work, to make your home ownership work. These are collective arrangements of the Igbo. That is why we have groups like Ohaneze and Igbo. We have groups like Nzoko Umunna.
Yeah.
I get what I'm saying. These groups are meant to tackle certain cultural affinities. They're meant to tackle certain challenges, bring the Igbos together, bring the Umunna, because a group of Umunna, headed by the eldest son, is what constitutes the community.
Yeah.
So now when we have these arrangements, people are dedicated towards propagating this gospel of having a fair and egalitarian Umunna. Make it flavor the stuff. You can flavor the Umunna arrangement. Help people. One of the reasons why people shy away from the Umunna is because nobody wants to help anybody. If you have made it, you distance yourself from your people. Because you feel that since they are suffering, once you come around, some people all these things are wrong. They use so many connotations to influence what they do, what they want to do, but it is wrong. I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But when you have a strong fellowship, assist your people. If you have made it, help people, help your people, assist them, make things better. There is no way being a good person can make you bring misfortune for you. It's a belief that most people have, but it's wrong. So I think that there is need for the Igbos all over the world to begin to reconsider their stand over their distance from their Umunna, because there is no way you can completely disown your ancestral home because they say Umunna wike. Thank you very much.